Hey everyone. Bonjour. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss the top things to know before considering a move to France. Moving to a new country can be a daunting task, but with a little bit of preparation, you can make the transition much smoother. In this video, we'll be sharing some tips and tricks that will help you settle into life in France. With its diverse culture, beautiful scenery, and friendly people, France is a wonderful place to live. If you're thinking about a move, we hope this information will be helpful. The language. Firstly, it's important to note that France is a country with a rich and diverse culture. From its delicious cuisine to its world-renowned fashion, there's no shortage of things to explore and experience in France. However, one thing that many people overlook is the language barrier. While it's true that many French people do speak English, it's always a good idea to learn some basic French before you arrive. This will not only make it easier for you to communicate with the locals, but it will also show that you're making an effort to assimilate into their culture. Consider taking French language classes or using language learning apps like Duolingo or Babbel to improve your language skills before moving to France. In addition to having a grasp of the language, be warned you'll need to use it soon after you move, in the form of bureaucracy. It's important to know that French bureaucracy can be complex and time-consuming, especially when dealing with official paperwork or government institutions. Therefore, it's a good idea to seek out resources that can help you navigate this process, such as local expat groups or legal advisors. Cost of living. Another thing to consider before moving to France is the cost of living. While France is a beautiful country, it can be expensive to live in certain areas, especially if you're planning on living in Paris. That being said, there are plenty of more affordable options if you're willing to live outside of the city. In addition, France has an excellent public transportation system, which can help you save money on transportation costs. You should also consider investing in a bicycle, as cycling is a popular mode of transportation in France. It's also worth noting that many shops and businesses close for a few hours in the middle of the day, a custom known as l'heure de déjeuner. This may take some getting used to, especially if you're used to the 9-5 workday. However, it also provides a good opportunity to enjoy a leisurely lunch and take a break from the hustle and bustle of daily life. Housing. When it comes to housing, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, finding a place to live can be challenging, especially if you're not familiar with the area. One thing to consider is working with a local real estate agent who can help you navigate the market and find a place that fits your needs and budget. It's also important to note that many apartments in France come unfurnished, so you'll need to factor in the cost of furniture and appliances when budgeting for your move. Additionally, if you plan on bringing your pet to France, there are specific regulations you need to be aware of. France has strict requirements for pet vaccinations and documentation, so be sure to do your research ahead of time to avoid any issues. Make sure you start planning your housing situation well in advance to avoid any last-minute stress. Culture. Finally, it's important to be aware of cultural differences when moving to France. For example, the French value their personal space, so it's not uncommon for strangers to avoid physical contact. It's also considered impolite to eat or drink while walking in public, so if you're on the go, make sure to find a place to sit down and enjoy your food or drink. When it comes to work, the French workweek is typically 35 hours, and it's common for businesses to close for several weeks during the summer for vacation. It's also important to note that customer service may not be as speedy as you're used to, as the French value taking their time and savoring their experiences. Finally, the French take great pride in their culture and history, so it's important to be respectful of their traditions and customs. By understanding and respecting these cultural differences, you'll be able to integrate more easily into French society and enjoy all that this beautiful country has to offer. Well folks, that's our list of the top things to know and consider before moving to France. We hope you found this information helpful and that it will make your transition to life in France a little bit easier. Remember to do your research, learn some basic French, and be aware of cultural differences. If you have any tips or advice for those moving to France, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Which point was new and interesting to you? Anything you agree or disagree with? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, and au revoir.